Okay, everyone, welcome to the Thursday, November 20th meeting of the Mansfield Economic Development Commission. Dwight Coder, Chair of the Commission. Uh, I think our first order of business is to approve the minutes for the October 20th meeting. Steve had to leave in the middle of that, but I did read them and they look pretty good to me. Does anyone want to propose any amendments to the October 20th minutes, or is there any discussion? Seeing nothing. And again, for some reason, Valesa, you're like one off of my screen. So if you have something to say, just go ahead and blurt it out. I apologize. Seeing no hands or anyone say anything, we'll go ahead and move to a vote. Would somebody make a motion to approve the October 20th minutes?
So moved.
I'll
Lane moves, and second is from Valesa or Nancy?
Either,
I'll
either.
second.
Okay, from Nancy. Show of hands to approve. Looks unanimous, I believe. Great, thank you very much. Next item and I guess we ordinarily start with an opportunity for public comment, but there is no public here. We'll get to that maybe more later. Now we have some reports, staff updates, business updates, housing updates. I'll turn it over to Steve for that.
Absolutely. Do you want to do quick introductions, Dwight? Just
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a moment to all introduce ourselves to our newest member, Amar. As I said, I'm Dwight Coder. I'm the chair of the commission. I've been on this for now just about 2 years. Locally, I'm a professor at UConn, and I live here, have two kids in the school system. I'll pass it over. Steve, you've introduced yourself, and we all know you, so maybe I'll just pass it over to Nancy.
Sure. Hi, I'm Nancy. I am the owner of Hops 44. I live in Tolland and been on the EDC now. I think this is my 4th year.
Thank you, Nancy. Lucy?
Hi, sorry. Hi, I'm Lucy. I've been living in Mansfield for about 10 years now, and I think I've been on the EDC for 3, I think. Yeah, I have 2 kids in the school system too, and nice to meet you.
Lane?
Lane Watson. I'm an attorney. I'm actually in Hartford at the moment, but I live in Mansfield and had 3 kids that went through the Mansfield schools.
And Valesa?
Hey, Valesa Suderklein. I moved to Mansfield in, I guess, 2020. Got a 5-year-old in preschool, and I'm currently between jobs, but I do like renewable energy policy, and I work remotely. And I think that covers it. I guess 4 years on the EDC now. I honestly, how?
Time.
Time flies, indeed.
Amar, go ahead and introduce yourself. I know a little bit about you from your email, but we haven't met, so it's nice to put a face to the name.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's lovely to be part of this commission. Stephen and Dwight reached out. I've been, I think, a newest addition to the Mansfield community. Been here less than a year. And we have 2 daughters, 25 and 22. So we have gone through the rigors of taking them through different cycles, teenage and all that. My older one attends UConn, and she's doing her PhD in computer science at UConn. And that was primarily our driver to move to Mansfield. Briefly about my business background, I am an IT guy and have more than 35 years of experience as a technologist. I have lived across several countries, New Zealand, Australia, India, US, and briefly in Canada as well, and accumulated a lot of experience interacting with people. I'm an entrepreneur. I have an active company that's profitable, that's based out of Rhode Island. We lived in Rhode Island briefly for a couple of months, and that's where the company got established in 2019. So yeah, my objective of reaching out to you guys was like, okay, I have done a lot of I helped in New Zealand when we reached in 2013. That's when quake had decimated a good portion of the central city, and the city and the entire, I would say, country was helping rebuild all of that. So it was good and bad. Good because there was a lot of work to be done, but bad because you could see fallout from quake. No economy, no jobs, no companies, and nobody wanted to come to Christchurch at that time, which was like a ground zero from quake. But fortunately, I gained a lot of experience helping set up. As I said, I'm an IT person, so my mind only runs in a single tone, which is IT. So I use that as a lever to attract a lot of new jobs to the city by setting up incubators, supporting the youth after or during their graduation to connect with the industry and help their entrepreneurial dreams and try to get them some things in terms of mentorial experience, in terms of real industry connections. I love working closely with academia. So Dwight, I will definitely lean heavily on you. And academia tends to be 5 years or sometimes even 10 years ahead of the industry. So what you're doing today in academia is going to eventually be adopted by the industry. And that's how beautiful it is. So if we can coordinate between academia, government, and the industry, that's a beautiful triangle. And it creates a whole lot of opportunities. So summarizing my experience with New Zealand Rebuild experience, it was primarily focused on helping the youth and the startups, early stage companies, or even the idea stage companies use IT, use big data, use business intelligence. And we are not talking about that was a pre-AI boom that we had in Christchurch. And now it has morphed into a lot of AI, a lot of serious work is being done. Christchurch, similar to Mansfield, also is an agri economy. So there's a lot of farms focus on different parts of the agriculture economy. And I was able to support a lot of agricultural AI or non-AI based startups doing a lot of serious work. And that created a very booming startup innovation center sort of in a sense that people started to come to Christchurch to be able to set a foothold. And then we had big telecom companies jump into the fray because they could see that a great output from academia is available to be used as an intern or entry level professionals because they have gone through the incubation process and they're ready to make a meaningful contribution to the big industry. So it was a great combination. And with that, I'll take a pause. That's what I intend to do something here, something
Awesome.
replicates all of that.
Well, we are just thrilled to have you in the community first and foremost, and especially blessed, I guess I would say, to have you take an interest in the operations and workings of the EDC. So that's great. We're not going to try too hard to get you to relocate your Rhode Island business to Mansfield, but we might talk about it every once in a while just to kind of remind you that that is an option that would be available to you, Mark.
Absolutely.
No, seriously though, thank you so much, and we really do look forward to your input. We stand to gain immensely from your experience. Thanks again, Steve, for reminding me to have us introduce ourselves. And can I now turn it back over to you for our updates?
Certainly, absolutely. All right. So just quick reminder of the event calendar here. We have just finished up Boo Bash, and now we are moving on to Winter Welcome, which will be Saturday, December 6th. So set your calendars for that. It is going to be 4 to 6:30 downtown. Very excited for yet another wonderful event there. And we've started planning already for the Taste Two Towns Restaurant Week, which will be end of January, last week of January, beginning of February. So that's coming soon. That's always been a very popular event. So on the event front, those are the two things going on there. This is a little more downtown related than EDC related, but still working hard on that parking survey that I've been talking about for several months. Started back in August with the initial round, followed up with a round of emails again to all the businesses in the downtown in September. Did another round of individualized emails later in September. And then last month, I went out and handed hard copies with a pre-addressed stamped envelope and a copy of the survey printed out to everybody who had yet to respond So we've gotten 30 responses back, which is like roughly 2/3 of all the businesses down here, which I think is pretty awesome for for what we're working with. So we'll bring all the results to one of, if not our next EDC meeting, one of our next EDC meetings, and try to see if we can interpret them and figure out, what meaningful changes we can make to the parking here in the downtown. I don't think we'll solve everything, but we can certainly make it better. So I'm very excited about that. Been working a lot on the activation of the Betsy Patterson Square. Our game day shuttle, which we talked about briefly a couple meetings ago, is off to a great start. We started with roughly, we're averaging about 20 riders, which was not ideal, but for a brand new program wasn't terrible. And our game last night had over 100 riders, which is outstanding. We were very excited about that. So that was the 5th shuttle. We got 12 more coming. And the whole idea is to get people downtown to patronize downtown businesses, park down here, and take the shuttle up to campus. So we're excited that it seems to be working.
Did you get the sense that people were going both ways? So they were parking downtown, going to the game, and then coming back, or?
Sorry.
It's all right.
Bottom timers. Yeah, so we shuttle them up to the game before, and then we run a shuttle back after the game's over to bring them back. So
Cool.
yeah, I don't know that the way back is as well attended, because it seems like some people just like to walk.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Yep.
Great. Thanks.
Yep. And then I had a couple interesting meetings over the last couple weeks, working with Jen Kaufman, our planner, and working with CMDA, the Connecticut Municipal Development Authority. They are a very interesting organization. I think they'll be very helpful as we try to plot a course forward more on the zoning kind of route, but a great organization that can lend a lot of help to our town. And I had a great meeting this morning with Advanced CT, which was formerly the Connecticut Economic Resource Center. They deal primarily with business retention and expansion, but they also do some business recruitment. So when we get to the part of our agenda where we're trying to recruit businesses, or we want to, specifically help individual businesses, they're a great resource that we can leverage when we get to that, when we have that need. So.
Do they help mostly with consulting or funding, or what's their
Connecting, I
superpower?
think,
Connecting?
connecting businesses with other, businesses and businesses with funding opportunities and locations and their,
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
And then I'll kind of segue into the business updates. I don't believe we mentioned this last time, but unfortunately, Crispy Sicilian at the Four Corners has closed, which is definitely a bummer. But on the positive side, another Four Corners business has opened. There was no grand opening for it. It was kind of under the radar intentionally, but Logistics, which is next to Brick by Brick in the Red Rock Plaza there. And they do electronic, very, very sophisticated electronic repair. It's kind of a niche thing, but they're great, great people. We alluded to it the last time, but we actually held the Mountain Dairy Creamery grand opening. So now Mountain Dairy is making their own ice cream. Formerly at the Red Barn location, it used to be red, now it's white, but it is now Mountain Dairy Creamery, and the ice cream is fantastic. Last week we held the Bagel Zone birthday bash. If you guys knew, Sue from Bagel Zone used to be in the Holiday Mall across from my office. And then when that was redeveloped into the Standard, she relocated downtown and never had a grand opening. So we wanted to do something nice for Sue. She's a fixture of the community. Everybody knows her, for better or worse. And so we had the Bagel Zone birthday bash, which was awesome. Very well attended. A lot of people came out, and Sue really, really felt the love. So that was great. We were attempting to do the grand opening for Campus Martin Smoke. We will get there eventually. They had a couple things that delayed them, but we will get them back in queue as soon as they're ready. And then not so much an opening, but an update. I was fortunate enough to get an invite for a tour of the Greek Church and Amphitheater and Museum.
Oh yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Very impressive. There's still a bit to be done before it'll be officially open, but it'll be absolutely a gem of a resource for our community. It's just amazing space with an amazing story. And I definitely don't want to butcher it, so we'll have to invite Elias, he's the head of the Greek church over there, to come and tell us all about it. But very, very exciting to see them making some progress. So that's what I have for staff update and for business updates.
Okay. Housing, anything?
Nothing too consequential at the moment. Unless anybody has any questions about specific projects. I think they are getting close to a demo and blasting permit for the MARC, which is the North Eagleville Road, King Hill Road development. It used to be there was a couple of different iterations of it, but very, very, very close to getting things underway over there.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you very much. Moving on to our discussion items. We've introduced our new EDC member, Amar. Amar, can you pronounce your last name for us?
It's Verma.
Werma. Okay, Amar Werma. We're still in the process of doing a little bit of recruiting. And if you were here at the beginning, Steve mentioned that the town council will be appointing a new member to the EDC as an ex officio member. That was the role formerly occupied by Brian Coleman as councilman. Steve, do you have any updates on other members, or are we still kind of in a hanging tight sort of mode, or what are you thinking about that?
I have a couple names I'm happy to kind of circulate amongst the group. I had reached out to Linnea, who runs Rooted Dreams. It's a local business flower shop. She's been very active in a lot of the events that we do, and she's been active downtown. She's a great person.
Cool.
I think she'd be a great addition to our commission. So with the commission's blessing, happy to reach out to her. Another idea would be Ben Lopez with Eastern Insurance. Might be nice to have an insurance person on the commission. They see business from a different angle, risk perspective, and they're also very well connected to the business community, doing insurance for a lot of different businesses. So that could be another good ad. And then certainly if anyone has any other suggestions, happy to follow up on those as well.
Commission, do we give Steve our blessing? I do. Perfect.
Absolutely, on both of
All
those. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're
Go
great.
ahead.
She's a
Sorry.
great person.
Sorry, Nancy, go ahead.
I just said she's a great person. She's very active.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Okay. The Taste of Mansfield, not too much to announce, except last night was the Taste of Mansfield Champions Awards, which yours truly had the distinguished honor of giving out to Dominic Shooks of Shooks Apiaries, Ken Robert Landolfi from Yukon Food Services, and a representative from GM Thompson's and Sons over there in Mansfield Depot. It was a super great event. They, as far as I understand it, they sold out all the tickets that they had. It was standing room only. Well, standing room only is probably a misnomer, but all the seats were taken. There were lots of kids, lots of families, kids running around throwing paper airplanes. It was a lot of fun. Mayor Moran was there and gave a nice statement as well. And Steve Farino was also there and announced to the town the intention to link Taste of Mansfield to the Farms to Tables, Farms to Families. Is that it? Sorry, Steve, I'm forgetting the name of it exactly.
Farms to Families, you got it.
Okay, and the details of which are still being worked out. But Steve, I failed to reach out to you after that, but of course I'd be happy to make a donation to that. And I think as that gets just known, more people will know to contribute to it. So anything that you'd like to add on that front or put into the record here?
No, that was perfect. For those who are unfamiliar with Mansfield Farms to Families program, it was a grant-funded program, and the grant funding dried up after, I think it's been running for 4 or 5 years now. But basically what it does is it connects food insecure residents with either scholarships for CSA shares or they can get actual bags of food delivered to their homes. And the food comes from local farms. So it's locally sourced food delivered to locally sourced people or local people in our community. So it's just too good of a program for us to let sunset. So I think what we kind of came up with was using the Taste of Mansfield brand as the fundraising vehicle to start trying to fundraise to keep farms to families alive. In some iteration, it probably won't be the same exactly as it's been, but the idea of being able to support our local farms and also help local residents just seems like it's a very synergistic goal. So we're going to figure out a way to keep it going. So
Yeah, thanks so much. That's totally right on. Yeah, and as we saw last night, there are a lot of people in this community that really put their shoulder to the wheel when it comes to food and food culture. And so I think it makes perfect sense that we, keep this program alive. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. We have one other announcement that Steve and I have been kind of working on, and then I kind of handed the ball off to Steve and just sort of ran in the opposite direction. So, Steve, can you give us an update on this really exciting collaboration between the EDC, Mansfield Downtown Partnership, and the Community Center and Taste Two Towns?
absolutely. So
I don't know where things stand, so
yeah,
I'm learning.
you're good. You're good. So as Dwight, I think, talked about at the last meeting, the idea of doing a way for there to be basically babysitting or kid childcare for parents while they go out and have a date night. And the community center has done parents' night out, which I think they call kids' night out in the past, and I think they do it a couple times a year, 2 or 3 times a year. But we have a very restaurant heavy business mix in our town, especially in our downtown. And something like that would be really nice for families. It's already expensive enough to going out to dinner, and you got to hire a babysitter, and babysitters aren't cheap. If we could find a way to help families out through providing childcare, it would also help local businesses. And so the idea was um, kind of collaborating with the community center to host a parents' night out, with the idea being, hey, if you go to a local restaurant, one of the local, restaurants here in Mansfield, maybe it's half off, or maybe it's, less expensive, to try to encourage people to go to local restaurants. And that kind of morphed.
For the childcare piece, not the food
Yes.
at the restaurant.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm sorry. Exactly.
Right.
Been a long week.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And that kind of morphed into we were able to meet with Jennifer Caldwell at the community center and kind of talk through the logistics of it. And I think what we're going to try is just having the Taste of Mansfield, I'm sorry, Taste of Mansfield, having the Taste Two Towns fund the first parents' night out entirely. And so we'll just tell parents, you got to call and reserve your spot, but we're going to provide childcare while you go out to dinner, and we're going to do it during our restaurant week. So it supports the restaurants that are participating in Taste Two Towns. And I think we're going to be able to pull it off with our budget. And it'd be a great test case, because what I'd love to see this kind of evolve into is more of a ongoing program where we have, I don't know if it could be weekly, but certainly monthly parent night out, where we could support local families by providing, childcare for them. Maybe we could get it funded through donations of the restaurants and give more business to the restaurants, because you'd have parents that can go out to dinner instead of having to be home, cooking. I think we'd all appreciate a night out. So
I love it.
it'll be
That's
a
awesome.
nice test. I guess the question for the EDC, kind of in terms of feedback, looking at numbers, the community center can do up to about 30 kids, and that's kind of their capacity in their current iteration. But one of the ideas that Jennifer threw out was doing it on a Saturday. So we would do it on a Friday, because they're open until 7 or 8 o'clock, I think. If we do it on a Saturday, they close at 4, and it could be an after hours event. And they could use the gym. They could set up an obstacle course. They could set up laser tag. They could have a movie going in the community room. They'd have a lot more space, but that comes at an added cost. So she's going to work on the numbers for that. But this could, we could, if the test case for this goes really well, and we're planning on trying to do this sometime in, like I said, during the restaurant week for Taste Two Towns in January. maybe this kind of grows into something that's a little bit bigger. We get more restaurants involved, and we're able to fund a bigger scale thing so that more kids can participate. And if we can make it a regular reoccurring thing where parents know, hey, look, every third Saturday of the month, I know I can drop my kids off at the community center. There's high quality childcare available. They're going to have a great time, get pizza and ice cream and whatever else, watch a movie, play, with their friends. And we get to go out and have a nice adult dinner at one of our many wonderful restaurants. It could really grow into something that helps the community and helps the business community.
I love it. Other thoughts?
I've just two random thoughts. One is if you do it on Friday, what room do they use?
There's the teen center in the back and the community center or the community room as you come in. So a
Yep.
combination.
Like that, yeah, okay. And then Frog Bridge did this recently, and I think they do it periodically. I just totally different crowd, like they have access to a totally different list, but I'd be curious how many people they get.
Yeah.
Cool.
They
What is
they do
is
it
that
for
Frog Bridge Gymnastics?
Yeah, they did one recently that was 6 and up. I know because I have a 5-year-old.
Well, we wouldn't do you like that, Alyssa.
Ours would be limited to school age kids because of the licensing, so we couldn't, take in infants and that
Yeah.
type of thing unless we collaborated with one of the daycares or something like that. But it would be, kindergarten through 8th grade.
Is Jocelyn involved?
Not yet, but she's on my list.
Okay.
I think it's great. I would love to know. I'd love to know how to get the word out about this. If people, what do people think? How do we bring this like? I'll tell you, like this is. I mean, me knowing about like I'm gonna be high up on that list when it goes live. We're gonna probably go get some wings and beer at Hops, Nancy. So, stay tuned for that. But like, how do we get the word out to people generally? Does this go out through the schools? Do we notify? I mean, what are the channels? Like, there's basketball season coming up. Like, maybe that's a place where we could, elementary age basketball. Anyone else have any ideas on how to get to the parents that would take advantage of this?
Definitely the schools. With the
What would
library,
we do with the schools? Like a flyer, or
they have like those weekly announcements. So maybe,
that's a good idea. The email, like the Friday email or whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a great idea.
I'm already thinking of people to text about this.
Yeah, exactly. Same. I'm in a book club, and we do a kind of monthly restaurant night out, and they all have elementary age kids and would love to do this. So this is going to be up. I will be notifying them as well. So yeah, so word of mouth. The Steve, if we could get a notice in the weekly blast from the
Certainly.
schools. Um, any other thoughts? Like you mentioned the library, maybe a flyer there.
Mhm. Yeah, we can do library. We can do obviously social media. We can post it in the restaurants that are, participating. All
Yeah,
that.
love that. Thank you, Steve, for doing the work of meeting with Jen
Yeah.
and doing some coordinating on this. I know that they're really busy too, and you have no shortage of things to do. So this is great. It's exciting to think about how it's going to develop. Are there things that the EDC can do to support this particular initiative at this point, or is it kind of,
I think we're just sort of waiting to I'll follow back up with Jen about what the larger version of this would look
oh,
like
the two different
cost.
costs, right?
Yeah, but I think for the smaller version, the 30 kid max version, the one we're going to shoot for Taste Two Towns Week in January, I think we're pretty much kind of we just need to know that the community center will do it on that date, and
Yep.
that Taste Two Towns, since I'm pretty sure we'll say it's fine on the budget, so we should be good to go on that one.
Okay.
And then I think we'll just think about once we get the cost for the bigger or smaller event, we'll figure out if we want to keep it at 30 and if we want to try to do it at one interval, and then who we want to tap for partners to help fund it. So.
Awesome. Okay, great, great. Thank you very much for that. Communications. Was there anything at the end of the packet today,
Nope,
not today.
streamline this month. We guys get off easy. We'll
We got-
add this month's to next month's. So
We had a lot last month. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because we had a busy agenda, but there's a whole bunch of stuff in that packet. Future meeting topics. Anyone want to add anything to our future agendas that you'd like to talk about? I'd invite you, Amar, in particular, if there's anything that you want to put on the agenda, and you don't have to do it now if something occurs to you. This idea of the kind of collaborating between the restaurants and the community center, that just started with, me talking to my wife and me talking to Steve. And then Steve said, well, what if we try to work that into the Taste Two Towns? I mean, this stuff just happens with ideas, just random thoughts. So if any of you ever have an idea for something that we can bring to the EDC, and I mean, Steve is an amazing get it done kind of person. So, but it takes getting started. So if you ever think of anything, please feel free to email me or Steve. Of course, we can add it to the agenda.
Absolutely.
Quick question. Who's doing Taste Two Towns from Willimantic this year?
Like which
Uh,
restaurants?
No, like
Or who's running it?
it's not Sticks and Stones guy anymore, or is it?
no, Chris McNamara is their representative right now,
Okay. Yeah.
and she's awesome. She gets stuff done. She's already been out recruiting restaurants on the Wyndham side. So Kathleen and I are gearing up for our outreach, but we have winter welcome first. We figured we'd hit the businesses one at a time instead of overwhelming them. So
Fair.
Cool. Great. Amar, I think you came off mute there.
I was just supporting that. Yes, absolutely. I'll think about any ideas that come across my mind. I'll share with you.
Please.
This commission's members. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Amar. Appreciate that. Okay, well, because so our next meeting will be December 11th at 6 p.m., Thursday, December 11th at 6 p.m., same time. If you have any thoughts between now and then, please feel free to reach out to me. But I think we don't have any other business, so I'm going to call for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
Nancy seconds. All those in favor of taking the rest of the night off? No more meetings? Raise your
That's
hand.
very funny. No more meetings. The rest of the night's not off.
So those are different things. Yeah, well, I've got two that I got to put down to bed, so I get it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful for you all taking time to be here.
amen.
Take care. See you later,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Everyone.